one set of questions. So as much as we're looking at cells, we are looking at cell division and specifically mitosis. And for me, it's really important that you get used to the words. I've said this lots of times. I'll say it with all my teaching. There are words in science that for me feel completely natural and have done for decades. And it's something that doesn't take long to get used to. It's just something you've got to really talk about. So I'm going to go through the work, and then what you guys are going to do is answer these questions. After you've answered these questions, there are some medium questions. However, these are very different. I won't talk to you about much of these. Some of these I have given you the information for, but some of them are really interesting. Explain why chromosomes are found in the nucleus of the cell. I'm not going to tell you that. Number two's a thinky, worky out one. I like number two. Why do most people have many of the symptoms? Anyway, and some of this you are going to have to Google. And I think the Google, ChatGPT, all this are really good tools. However, you are going to need to explain it in your own words. Or diagrams. I like diagrams. You want to draw a diagram and explain it? I'm really happy with that. So this is really kind of interesting. And some of them are unexplained. These are not easy questions. Explain something is not easy at all. But that is where you can use the internet as your friend. And I think it's really important that we don't lose sight of the fact that the internet is a tool. Used properly, it's really, really powerful. Anywho, to start with anything, the first thing I'm going to do is just go through a basic cell structure, which we have done before. But I'm just going to do it as a recap, but I'm also going to talk to you about different things within cell division. Okay. Now, within cell structure, you have the nucleus, and it turns around and says contains genetic information, and I don't like that. This is too vague. All right, I prefer the term DNA, and I'm going to, and to me, language and words is really important, and not just deoxyribose nucleic acid is one way of writing it, and it's a really, really big word, deoxyribose. Let's press escape and hit that. Try again. There. Okay, that's said shut out. Shoot out. Anyway. Oh, now zoom out. Zoom out. Oh, it's big. So there. Oh, now it shoots out. Okay, so deoxyribose nucleic acid, DNA. It is what makes you you, and I'm going to show you how. But we're going to come back to that. The cytoplasm, which we've done before, is this jelly-like liquid inside your cell where all the reactions occur. Ribosomes make proteins. Now, this is really important. So if I ask anybody, year 10 and younger, what's a protein, they'll turn around, sir, it's like muscle protein. Yes, it is. Some might turn around and say it's like the protein found in your hair. Yes, it is. Very few students I'd probably say year 11 will turn around and say, actually, enzymes are made of proteins. All right? And we've done enzymes. To be honest with you, I don't expect you to remember all this. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So what's an enzyme? An enzyme is a tiny machine that carries out chemical reactions. And that's something that my daughter said to me when she was very young. And I like the idea of enzymes being tiny machines. And they are made of protein. Now, your cell membrane controls what comes in and out. And I really want to stick on mitochondria. Students get this wrong. It's like, what mitochondria? Now, a couple of things you do not say. It is not where energy is made. You cannot create or destroy energy. That's the law of physics. You can't do it. So it's where we release energy. But it's by aerobic respiration. Hopefully some of you remember, if you're new, don't worry about it. That aerobic respiration is where we use oxygen for respiration. Okay. So I want to jump to this diagram. Your cell will never ever look like this most of the time. Your cell, never ever, that's just wrong, isn't it? It will look like that some of the time. It looks like this. It looks like your nucleus looks like a grey blob. When it comes to dividing, your DNA condenses, it shrinks, and you can see it, and it forms chromosomes. We have 46 chromosomes, 23 pairs. Now, your chromosome, this is really tough, and your chromosome is a massive long section of DNA, a massive long piece of DNA. A small section of that DNA is a gene, right? And a gene is what makes you you. And you have, I think, approximately 10,000 of them. They tell you everything from the colour of your hair to how tall you're going to be, whether you're going to be a boy or a girl, how dense your bones are going to be, and also some really interesting things. One of the interesting things is whether you can roll your tongue or not, like this. That is genetic. Either you can do it or you cannot. And some of you might not be able to do it. And there's no way I can teach you to do it. Another really interesting thing about genetics is whether you're left or right-handed. And here's one that you can do now. If you just relax and clasp your hand, how you clasp your hand is genetic. I feel comfortable like this. If I open my hand, so I just open it slightly and twist, clasp like that, that feels weird. It feels really strange. And that is genetics. There's a gene for this. All right? Oh, this feels horrible. And your genes make you up, even your personality. All right? Now, so therefore, a chromosome is a long section of DNA. A small section of DNA is called a gene, and that produces a protein. And you have, I think, about 10,000 different genes. Now, when we look at size, your cell is the biggest. You then have your nucleus. You then have chromosomes. Your DNA is made of chromosomes, and the smallest section of a chromosome is called a gene. All right, cell cycle is like a teenager. 90% of the time, the cell is just resting. What are you doing? Nothing. What did you do in school today? Nothing. Have you learned anything interesting? No. So your cell's like a typical teenager. Except for 10% of the time, it will go through mitosis. And I'm going to show you what that is. And I love that word. Okie dokie. So, actually, let's do this first. All right. Mitosis result. Okay, let's not. I haven't done enough. So, this is your cell before it's about. You actually won't see it like that. You'll see it like a grey blob. But if you could see it, it looks like this. Okay. At the end, you want of mitosis two identical copies. Same number of chromosomes. Now, in this, oopsie daisy, let's see if we can zoom in. Oh, it's lagging. Oh, I'm going to have to delete everyone's work at the end of this. I'm trying not to. I try not to delete your work, but it comes to a point where it starts lagging. So this is not a human cell. This is a made-up one. Because a human would have 23 pairs, not 2 pairs. There's 2 pairs, 4 chromosomes. So let's call this chromosome 1. All right. It is 1 you get from your mother and 1 you get from your father. I call it 1 mama, 1 papa. Technically 1 maternal, 1 paternal. The other one is chromosome 2. You get 1 from your papa and 1 from your mama. Papa, mama. Okay. You must have exactly the same chromosomes in your daughter cells for mitosis. So before it divides, it must double them. That's why it looks like an X. You have chromosome 1 mama, but look, it's doubled. And that's why it looks this X shape. In mitosis, and this is the point, so this is the replication part, they line up and split. And the nucleus forms. This is mitosis. I love that word, mitosis. After the nucleus splits, the cell splits. The cytoplasm splits. The cell membrane splits. And that's got a really cool word, and that is cytokinesis. So, that's a lot of information. So let's have a look at some of these questions. Mitosis results in cells containing half a set of chromosomes. No, they must contain a full set. Full, not half. Mitosis produces identical cells from each parent cell. True. Mitosis occurs for only a short time in a cell. Yes, only 10%. Mitosis can lead to diabetes if not controlled. No. Diabetes is your body not producing enough insulin or reacting to insulin. Uncontrolled meiosis, uncontrolled cell division, can lead to tumours and cancer. So it's the first time you're hearing this, and this is what I worked on. I worked on chronic myeloid leukemia. And this is what cancer is. It's a normal cell that suddenly starts dividing uncontrollably for no reason. Mitosis occurs to replace damaged cells. Yeah. For you guys, it's growth. Your cells can't get bigger than a tiny, tiny size. Your cells are dividing by mitosis to make you bigger. If you cut yourself, like I've got scar tissue from being cut, that's where mitosis replaces those damaged cells. You've got some flashcards here, and I was going to show you them. I like diagrams to explain to me what I'm doing, and I look at them and I think, all right, yeah, cool, I get that. Then I try to draw them without looking, and this is where we're revising. Some people like flashcards. That's not me. I've got students who use flashcards. One of my students last year got 4 A stars at A level. She loved flashcards. Another student of mine, he got one of the highest scores in the world at A level chemistry. He prefers diagrams. So everyone's different. It doesn't matter. All right, your job, 10 questions, easy. 10 questions. Then these, you have to use Google your best friend. But I want the answers in your word. If you just go, oh, and I see it, some students in year 9 will run through them in ChatGPT and copy and paste it and drop it in. And you can tell it's not them. And it's like, you have ChatGPT and Googled and pasted that, didn't you? No, sir. Well, you've never spelled there right before. So anyway, that's your task today. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop that recording.